Hailing frequencies are open.
And we are back with Star Trek Livingstone. No, wait, Atlantis. Our spin-off prequel. What are we calling this?
We're a spin-off. We're a spin-off show. Already.
It's a spin-off show. Yep. It is the Star Trek Adventures Modiphius roleplay game that we do live every fortnight, except not next fortnight. We'll come to that in a bit.
I suppose, are we a next gen or are we a Brave New World?
Strange New World. So right
Strange New
now,
World.
Atlantis is closer to Strange New World. It's after Strange New World.
No, I was
Its
meaning
original
in
series.
Livingstone.
Well,
no, as in, is this a spin-off or a prequel? It's like, are we, as far as the original series, Next Gen was a spin-off essentially, but Brave New Worlds or Strange New Worlds is a prequel essentially.
Oh, I think of Strange New Worlds as a spin-off because it's not Kirk and co.
But it's still the Enterprise.
I mean, it is Spock.
Still Spock. And who's to say that the Enterprise isn't as important a character as Kirk? In fact, Kirk didn't end up in Next Gen, but the Enterprise, even if it's just the namesake and the refit, did.
Well, that depends. Do you include the movies with the Next Generation? Because in Generations he was in.
No, I don't. The movie is definitely separate to the TV because it came quite a bit after, I think. But also it doesn't run exactly canon with what happens in the TV show.
The TV show doesn't run canon with the TV show.
No,
I mean,
this is true.
The original series didn't run canon with the original series, so
yeah. But in next gen, Scotty wakes up after comes out of a transporter, wondering where Kirk is, and technically in Generations he saw Kirk get destroyed out into a as part of the ship was removed. You'd think he'd remember that.
You would have thought so. You would have thought so. Anyway, yes, with us we have Matt geeking out. No, we're here to geek out. That is all of it. Captain Matthew Webb. How are you enjoying your captainship? Atlantis.
I have a lot of time for Webb. He says what everybody's thinking.
He says what Webb's thinking.
He's definitely one of those old school captains that Janeway darkly referenced, to a bit too quick to go to phases and a bit too slow to invoke the Prime Directive.
Yes, the Prime Directive is whatever I say it is. God damn it!
It's more a collection of suggestions than an actual set of rules.
Yeah.
The Prime suggestion. I like it.
What I don't know can't hurt him yet.
Well, keeping Webb on the straight and narrow, we hope, or is she? We have Commander Helen Alward, our first officer and tactical, played by Amy.
Yeah.
A bit of responsibility there, much more so than Davok.
Yeah. Oh, Davok's got everything on his shoulders, but Helen's just there to shoot people.
She comes in peace, shoot to kill. Yeah. And at the science station, we have our science Katian, Lieutenant Kaveen. Am I still pronouncing that correct? Kaveen.
I think so. That'll do. Yes, Kaveen.
Kiwi.
Yes. Oh, the fact that Kiwi and Spidey know each other from way back is just perfect. It's basically ripping yarns in space.
Yeah.
Does Kaveen have a surname?
Not in canon so far.
His mononym.
I thought Kaveen was your surname.
Nah, it's his surname and his name.
Oh, so you're like Madonna.
Yeah, and I think it's probably his it was the name of his whole litter as well.
That must get a bit confusing.
Yeah, well, you know each other in our family by smell as much as anything else.
Lovely.
Actually, I'm trying to picture Kaveen the teenager.
Look, I think Captain Webb's very lucky that I haven't left various dead items at his door just as a gift. So that might still happen.
Hey, what happens
charming,
off
another
camera?
dead tribble.
Right.
Good boy, thank you.
And yes, you've survived Bacchus 4. Barely, it seems.
Yeah.
More by luck than judgment.
Well, Webb did his best to get disintegrated. Oh, look, here's a beam that disintegrates people on contact. I wonder what'll happen if I walk into it.
I think you'll
Yeah,
find
I'm worthy.
Yes.
It's such a captain thing to say.
Oh, the hubris.
Yeah, how are we feeling to be away from Bacchus?
Glad.
Back on board.
Oh, I want some gadgets to play with.
Slightly,
So awful
slightly
planet.
confused.
Oh, what we confused by?
Obviously, my values were tested, and
Yes.
maybe not as anti-Klingon as I was before. Apparently,
Yes, indeed. So you challenged your value about Klingons, which means that your value needs to be replaced. Have you replaced your value with?
I haven't yet.
That's
Let's
something
do it
that
now.
needs to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to say as GM mechanically, until such time as you replace, you can't use that value.
You mean it can't be anything? I have a value that whatever I need appears.
I am a
But yeah, but I would say, I mean, something to do with Klingons, but kind of, yeah, he's definitely feels differently about Klingons now, doesn't he?
But a value of our past. Something about a sort of drinking ability, given the amount of blood wine that was sort of, resistant to alcohol poisoning.
You've gained a Klingon constitution.
I
Like a
can
targ
see
ability.
that. I mean, link it into the Klingons somehow because it's an adapted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's the blood wine.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't.
Blood wine brings people together or something like that.
Yes. Or
BYOBW.
I like that one. Bring your own blood wine. So while the captain's musing on his Klingon encounter, how does everyone else feel about this planet they've been on that's now gone?
Yeah. I want to know more about what happened, really. I want to know if the people that we rescued are still babbling on or whether they've snapped out of it and what their story is.
Did it draw them away?
Yeah, that's what I'm intrigued about most.
Well, you'll have the opportunity to speak to them, no doubt, in game. You have been a bit occupied dealing with the Klingons, and then a bit pissed as a result. Hey, Jaunty, glad you could join us. So you will have the opportunity to speak to them, definitely. I mean, the entire system that you were in is now gone. It's destroyed, as we know.
Got a track record of that, destroying things.
Systems, whales.
Yeah, it's not very Star Trek of us, is it?
That's the space creature, not the country attached to it.
Space
Like
whales,
that was fun.
where they have space
Don't give Webb any
daffodils.
ideas.
given that I'm traveling to Cardiff on Friday, I'm quite glad of that.
Right, well, before we say North Star to any Welsh viewers, shall we have a catch-up before we go back into the game.
Completely wasted point, but Nostar was the name of the hostel that I stayed at where I first met my other half.
Oh,
Oh, cool!
That's
I thought you were going to say the hostile that you that you defeated in combat.
I mean, little from column A, little from column B, I suppose.
Now she is my mate. You sound very Klingon.
Yes. I mean, to be fair, I do refer to her as Chattel.
Moving swiftly on. On that, I don't know. There's so much I want to say, but I don't. Let's have a log.
First officer's log, stardate 5378.2. It's good to be back on board the Atlantis. I don't mind admitting that there were a few times recently where I wondered if we would make it back safely. By we, of course, I mean myself, Captain Webb, and our science officer, Kaveen, who was snatched down to the surface of Bacchus 4 by some kind of accident. Or accident? Ancient automated system. The same system has already caused serious problems with our ship and threatened to destroy it, so it had to be shut off, and quickly. We managed to find the source of these deadly beams, along with a number of individuals who seemed to be under some sort of influence from it, along with some Klingons whose bird of prey was suffering in a similar way to the Atlantis. Kaveen was instrumental in shutting down the mechanism, but unfortunately this also led to the entire star system being destroyed. Thankfully, some engineering work by myself and Kaveen on the outside of the hull of the Klingon ship, along with some very nifty piloting of the bird of prey by our very own captain, meant we were able to escape just in time, along with the Atlantis. All of this has led to the captain being revered by the Klingons, and I think his poor opinion of them has improved in the process as well. And we have been special guests at the meal in our honour. It was fun, but we all have planet-sized hangovers today. A few questions remain. What happened to the builders of this incredibly impressive technology? Why were such disparate individuals drawn to it and influenced? And what do we do with Lieutenant Fry? Who, along with an ensign who was killed on Bacchus, caused the death of 2 people when stealing the shuttle? All of that may have to wait, though, as the captain has just received a hail from Admiral Stoker. I wonder what emergency she'll be throwing us into next. Da, da, da.
Da, da, da. And that brings us nicely back in. Thank you for that, Amy. Kind of sounds like she's blaming Kaveen for destroying the entire star system.
Did it sound like that? Oh, I don't know.
In my defence, I was left fairly unsupervised.
So, yes, like any cat, you just knocked it off the edge of the table to hear it smash. So, Captain, yes, you have received orders from Admiral Banner Stoker to rendezvous with the ship that she is on, the USS Astrad, which is another Constitution class, like the Atlantis.
Twinsies.
So, would it be safe to assume that you are going to rendezvous?
Yes.
Okay, that's going to give you a couple of hours. What would you like to do with this couple of hours? It is the next day. It is the following day.
What would happen if we said no? I'm curious, like in Starfleet protocol.
Well, it's an order, so you'd be guilty of defying an order.
Yeah, beaten with a plot hook.
Okay.
Rocks can fall in space.
Webb is going to take himself off to his cabin, and if you're walking past, you may, but he will deny it in every way, shape, or form if you ever bring it up. You may hear some Klingon opera.
Oh.
This doesn't Klingon have opera. Wow. I would see that.
Excellent. Well, of course, you've got to play Klingon opera loud.
He doesn't. He's not quite there yet.
All right.
Listen to it in the original Klingon.
It's Webb is listening to the hip hop, but at a socially muted level.
Okay. And as the strains of the Klingon Alanis Morset and Jagged Little Knife come through the captain's speakers, what's everyone else doing? Obviously, Commander Alward will be in charge on the bridge, unless the commander's doing something else.
Yeah, I will be making the most of sitting in the chair because we have done a lot of not sitting recently. So,
Fleet of Romulans decloak in front of... No, I'm joking.
just let me have a moment's peace.
Who gave them all that threat?
Yeah, I'll put on some good driving music like ACD.
Bit of AC/DC, excellent. I'm glad you mentioned threat because I forgot to mention this at the beginning. So we are now beginning basically an entirely new story. So all your momentum is gone into the ether. Poof. And as per the instructions for this specific adventure, I have taken 3 threat for each player rather than the usual 2.
Why? Why?
Because it says
stupid.
in the book that I've got right here that's what I'm to do.
I was like, oh, he's only taking half the... Oh, no, per person.
Yeah, what, 1 threat per player? How very generous.
Yeah.
No, I have 9 threat.
I mean, in theory, that means it's less brutal than it could be. I was like, if he's only taking 1 threat per person, that means it's a really brutal thing that we're about to go into. So maybe it just means it's a nice, safe jaunt.
Well, thank goodness there's not 4 of us.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's on assignment.
Yes. Commander's on the bridge. Is Kaveen on duty?
Kaveen is in the mess hall trying to find some Ractigino.
Have we? Isn't Ractigino? Isn't that Cardassian?
That's Klingon coffee, but
Klingon.
I got a supply from one of our hosts last night. He said he gave me a bag of stuff and said, like, "You'll need this." Yeah, I thought, okay, fine. Turns out I didn't.
And if someone from a strange starship gives you a bag of something and says you'll need this, yes, you always take it.
Yes,
That's correct.
Stand at any point and click adventure, pick up everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cardassians don't have coffee; they drink fish juice in the morning.
Oh.
I know, right?
Actually, as a
fish.
I would imagine that a species of cat people would probably love that.
What type of fish juice? Like, do they just squish a fish? Or...
I don't know.
Wasn't that a Greek tragedy?
Squish a fish.
Squish a fish.
Squish fish. Oh, dear. Yep, so Helen is on the bridge in charge and responsible for every aspect of this huge
Don't take
ship and all the
advantage
crew.
of this.
Hold on tight.
You.
Kaveen attaches seatbelts, which he finds on the ship.
Helen goes on a bathroom break.
What would Helen like to do as the ship is
on works time.
heading towards its rendezvous?
Well, I'm sure being a captain requires my full attention, and there's a lot of responsibility and work that goes into running a ship, surely.
No.
You've got a crew. Nah.
Yeah.
You tell me, what would you like to do with the time?
Well, as we've got a couple of hours, I think it might be worthwhile having a chat with our lieutenant.
Oh, Lieutenant Janna Fry.
I would like to have a few words with her.
Currently in the brig. Would you like her brought to the bridge?
I don't know whether that's wise.
for what it's worth, you do know from reports she has been exceptionally compliant.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring it to the bridge then. I'm sure that won't go wrong.
And yes, an unnamed red shirt, because that always goes well, brings her to the bridge from the security crew.
Just the one. We'll have a couple of people, I'm sure.
If you want to, there can be two. There are plenty of security officers on board.
Okay. And then, so yeah, I wanted to tell me her story from the top. Why did you take that ship? And why did you kill those people?
As soon as you say why did you kill those people, she looks horrified. And she says, what people? I didn't kill anybody.
Well, what's happened to you the past few days then?
The colour has completely drained from her face. She requests permission to sit down. You can see her whole body is trembling. Like, as soon as you've said, these people you've killed.
I'll grant that. You can sit down. I'm not that mean.
Yeah, she sits down and she's clearly in some sort of state of shock at this. And she explains that her and the ensign, Ensign Canner, I think it was, who she'd have thrown away because they're dead. Ensign Kenner, that was it.
Differently living.
They suddenly realised that there was some immense power that would help the Federation, that would solve all disease, all war, all the answer to humanity's problems could be found on this planet, and there wasn't time to try and explain it to people. They just had to get into the shuttle and leave. But she absolutely swear she didn't kill anyone.
We didn't kill them.
Didn't burn them. She promises you that. She says, but she said since the destruction of the planet, she doesn't know why she was thinking that way.
Interesting. So, do you remember seeing anyone on your way there?
She says, what do you mean seeing anyone?
Like, when you left, you must have encountered people.
Well, there were people in the shuttle bay on the starbase, but
what happened to them?
We just got in the shuttle and left. She doesn't understand the question. We left them behind, obviously. They wouldn't have understood.
In bits.
And she says, I don't really understand it myself now, but...
I don't either.
Ask her how many lights there were.
Sorry, I can't hear over you the sound of the opera in the background. Okay. Well, I think she's got some things to come to terms with, so I'll send her along her way. You can think about what she's done.
Just say, Commander, what people are you saying were killed?
The people that were killed?
The security person. Was it security?
You haven't really read the report in that much detail yet. Would you like to access the report now?
Yes, please.
I'm reading my report. 2 people were dead, and they were found following you taking the shuttle.
Oh.
Yeah, you've got access on your
Yeah.
computer panel on the thing. You can get more details from that if you wish.
Yes. What? Go on. Tell me more.
So the specific details is that as the shuttle was leaving, it struck two engineering, two members of engineering, killing them instantly.
Oh.
Oh, I thought they just flat out murdered them in cold blood. But
Yeah.
that's a bit better. I feel a bit bad that one of them died. Okay.
Are you going to share that? Because she is asking.
I will, in a kind way.
If you thought the colour had drained from her face before, it drains even further, and she's distraught. She's in a bit of an emotional state over that. And she keeps saying, I didn't know. I just didn't know.
That may well be the case. It has happened. And now you're going to have to live with it.
All of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, she collapses to the floor, emotional wreck.
Send her back to the brig.
And yes, security
Unnamed red shirt.
take her away to the brig.
And then I'll spend the rest of my time doing this.
Over in the mess hall, Kaveen, you see the Romulan senator and the male Trill. No, hang on. Who was the one who didn't survive?
Didn't we kill the Trill? I mean, didn't...
One of the Trills was killed. There were two.
Yeah, the senator.
Yeah, even my non-existent spots itched when that happened.
Oh no, who was the one you couldn't save?
I grabbed the senator.
It was...
You did.
Oh yeah, that's when we just...
Oh no, it was the Trill you couldn't save. Yes, so yes.
Yeah, because they kept,
my bad.
They kept kicking away.
They did. So the Romulan senator is also in the mess hall.
Excellent. Well, maybe I shall approach the Romulan senator, and in a similar way to as our commander has done, just sort of make small talk. Senator, how are you this morning?
I'm dismayed at the events, the recent events. And I will confess, somewhat confused.
Understandable. And also, these must be strange surroundings to a Romulan being on a Federation ship. But hopefully, we'll be sending you back home as soon as possible.
Yes, I understand. I'm to be transported home. Please extend my thanks to your captain for saving me.
So as soon as I get him out of his self-imposed Klingon opera exile, I'm sure I'll be able to do that. You remember anything of your time down on that very mysterious planet?
The Romulan fixes you with a long, hard look and just says, "I remember everything."
Oh. I'm sure that should we be permitted to, we'll be able to share some of our scientific results of our explorations down there. Clearly, it's gone now, but what we did witness and what we did find down there is probably going to be subject to some sort of classification initially. But as you're a pertinent witness to it, I'll certainly be recommending to the Federation Science Council that we share what is needed with each other.
I am sure my government will appreciate any information that the Federation chooses to share. For my part, I just wish to put the whole ordeal behind me.
Actually, I'm taking it that he's a senator, not a scientist.
He's actually a former senator, but yeah.
A politician or something. Excellent. And with that, I'll sort of excuse myself from him and let him leave him to his thoughts, not crowd him in this room full of Federation and humans and stuff.
Okay. He bids you a farewell and remind you to thank the captain. He does reiterate that.
I'll tie a knot in my tail to remember it.
Is there anything else anybody would like to do before the rendezvous?
No. I do think we should name the unnamed red shirt as a Bolian called Juanti.
Yes!
Juanti Goblin.
Juanti Goblin of the security department, indeed.
Obviously, that's something I've got to make when we finish this, actually, as well. So just to be clear, he's one of our security detachment. Yes.
Yeah.
Jolly good.
Yeah, it's still it's Bolians are acceptable at this point, aren't they? Because they were founders of the
yes
Federation.
Yes,
yeah, I'm sure they're in it at this point.
Yes. Okay, so after a period of time, you're approaching I keep forgetting the name of it, the USS Astrid.
The Astrid for
Astrad.
Commander Brahm.
For what, sorry?
Commander Brahms. No?
Commander Brahms?
Who's she? He, it.
Isn't that the person that we're rendezvousing with?
Admiral Banner Stoker.
Ah. As opposed to Bram Stoker.
Yes. You, Captain, you get a call to your quarters saying you're approaching the Estrad.
Yeah, you better look like you're doing your job.
Kevin, you also get a call to the bridge as well.
Yeah, so
On my way.
all senior officers to the bridge.
Resume my usual seat.
And indeed, when you drop out of warp, as does the Astrad, the incoming hail, are you accepting?
On screen.
And the Admiral, an imposing woman, appears on the screen in front of you.
Admiral, jolly good to see you again.
Captain, time is of the essence.
Right, jolly good. Do you want to beam over? Or
Yes. Please have a secure... please secure your ready room with anyone directly involved in your recent adventure.
just Starfleet personnel, or just or everybody that we have on board?
Oh, raises an eyebrow at that and says, members of your crew only.
Jolly good. We will see you shortly.
She nods and the screen shuts off.
Chef, tea for 4, please. And then we're going to secure the ready room.
And after a short while, you receive notification, hey Ben, that the Admiral has beamed directly to the ready room.
Fabulous. Go and join her. Kiwi, Commander, you're with me.
Coming, sir.
Kerno, you have the bridge.
Kerno takes the centre seat. And yes, you step into the ready room. The door shuts behind you. Captain, please
Admiral?
report on the occurrences on Bacchus 4.
Well, so obviously we followed orders and tracked down the shuttle. We were then caught in some scientific mumbo jumbo that held us in place, very nearly tore the ship apart, and then transported myself, the lieutenant and the commander here, down to the surface. We then found some Klingon weaponry and foodstuffs. We then found the 2 members of Starfleet that we were looking for, but they were accompanied by a pair of Klingons, a pair of Trills, a Vulcan,
There was a Vulcan.
a Vulcan, and a Romulan senator. Now, we were then accosted by another group of Klingons from the ship that the first 2 had come from. Their commander was difficult, to say the least, and once we had worked out how to open the large rock structure that is that then we've since have found out was part of the moon of this planet. We've managed to find
that. I'm going to stop you and interrupt you and just say, everyone, give me a reason and science roll, difficulty 1.
Ooh. Ooh, 14.
Insight and science.
No, reason and science.
Oh, reason. I get 1 success.
That's what you need.
I am successful.
I get 2 successes. Starfleet simple.
Ooh.
1 momentum.
You get a momentum.
See how much damage to my table I can do with these dice. I fail both. Not critically, but fail both.
Okay. Kaveen and Helen, as soon as the captain, who is lost in his own monologuing,
Yep.
as soon as he mentions about, managed to enter this structure that was huge and part of the moon, we believe, you hear the Admiral say under her breath, "The monolith."
So we
Please
managed to
carry
get
on.
in. Once we got inside, there was some sort of disintegrator beam. Unfortunately, the Klingon commander, being the idiot that he is, didn't think it through and walked straight in and got disintegrated. Was quickly followed by a large portion of the remaining people that were staring and chanting and chatting at the monolith. We managed to subdue the lieutenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ensign unfortunately ran through and got herself they got themselves disintegrated as well. We then subdued the very feisty Klingon warriors who were going to become a problem, and managed to work our way through into the center of the monolith. Which then got us. The lieutenant here did an admirable job of working out how to bypass security and get us back to our ship. Although we did end up going back to the Klingon ship, but in possession of the lieutenant and the Romulan senator. We then had a difference of opinion with the Klingons, but that was overcome with a little bit of flying from us to avoid everything being blown up. We're now still in possession of the Romulan senator, also the lieutenant, and we seem to have been made honorary members of at least 3 Klingon houses. I'm not quite sure what that means, but they seem quite impressed by the whole thing.
Okay, the Admiral looks at you and considers what you've said for a moment.
Good, because I have no idea what I just said.
You did very well. It was a good sum up.
Oh, by the way, Captain, the Romulan senator says, thank you very much for rescuing me. Very impressed.
Oh, jolly good.
Captain, Commander, Lieutenant,
Admiral.
you are to consider this matter above top secret. You are not to share any of your experiences with anyone save myself, and any logs, recordings, sensors, any computer information needs to be put under strict lockout. Do I make myself clear?
You make yourself clear. I'm presuming that order isn't going to be in writing.
You presume correctly, Captain.
Okay. Is it going to be, what is the term? Countersigned by another admiral?
There is no other admiral here. It is a direct order, Captain.
Very good. Understood. Lieutenant, get to work on making a physical backup of all of the logs to be transported directly to the Admiral's ready room, and then destroy the current backups.
Belay that order.
You just wish me to delete all the relevant files from our system, Admiral?
Yes, but it can wait just for now. I have something rather more urgent.
Okay.
Lieutenant settles back into the seat for a moment. Tell me, what is your greatest desire?
Apart from catnip. I just, Do you know what, Admiral? Science. Science. The Starship is a scientific tool, first and foremost. That's what we're out here for. So give me something to point my sensors at, and I'm happy as a clown.
Commander, your greatest desire.
Retiring.
Intact.
Captain, what's yours?
I will look at her. Admiral Pips. For now.
She looks thoughtful and nods for a moment and says, very well. Lieutenant, you may proceed. Captain and Commander, I have further instructions for you.
Very
I'll
good.
take my leave and return to my station on the bridge.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to have any roles for doing any of that. But you're
accidentally delete everything.
You're basically putting it on an external hard drive to give to the Admiral, and then deleting the rest of it from the computer.
As I leave, I sort of look at the captain as if to say, right.
I don't speak men nods.
Almost imperceptible twitch of the tail that only me and someone who I probably spent some time at school with would know.
Just as you're going out the door, the Admiral does call out, "Oh, Lieutenant, one last thing. Please issue instructions for all survivors other than the three of you to be transported to the Astrad."
Very good. I'll have them report to the transporter room straight away. and return to the bridge and communicate that to our to our head of security. Jaunty,
Duante.
Duante.
little job for you.
Jaunty. Okay. So once the door closes, Admiral Stoker says, Captain, Commander, you obviously appreciate that we are dealing with an incredible form of technology here.
Yes.
It would be devastating to the Federation if it were to fall into the wrong hands.
I believe the system was destroyed. So, although we did pick up suggestions, there was others, because there was red blips on the thing, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
She raises an eyebrow at this and says, "Red blips on the thing."
Yes, sorry. As part of the lieutenant was getting us control, or at least partial control, to get us back to the ship. There was a star map, I believe, that was put on that seemed to have a red blip where we were, and then other red blips throughout. Was it just, I can't remember, was it just this sector, or was it the galaxy?
It was spread throughout the galaxy, but clustered mostly in what we call the Shackleton Expanse.
Yes. So the area that I believe the lieutenant, the commander here, mentioned as the Shackleton Expanse. There seems to be maybe some other items or other things. It was it wasn't a very clear map, shall we say, and there was no way of being able to get a copy of it.
She nods and says, "Yes, that ties in with other information I have been able to glean. Captain, we are to set course immediately for a small moon in a system in the Shackleton Expanse. I will give you coordinates momentarily. We are to make way at maximum warp. And Captain, temporarily, I will be taking command of the Atlantis. And that's a good place for us to take a break."
Ooh, cheeky.
Oh, she say, like, make it happen, like Jellicoe.
Move over, Webb.
So we will be back after we've refreshed our drinks. Don't go anywhere. That's an order.
to be a better driver.
Hailing frequencies are open.
And we are back. I've got my hot chocolate. So
Oh,
we're
that's a good idea. Why didn't I do that?
We're all set. And you've got a velvetizer as well.
I know. It's the best hot
Ooh.
chocolate. You know, I had a friend round the other day, and I provided a hot chocolate, and they were like, I'm going to get one. And then they messaged me the other day with a picture of their velvetizer box saying, I spent 60 quid on chocolate. Like, yes, join me.
And welcome, Captain Quinn. Yes, it's been an interesting game thus far. What do we think of this new admiral? Then she's lovely.
Webb's gonna love her.
I like that she's kicked Webb out the chair.
I mean, that's not. To be fair, that's not an unheard of thing. In fact, when an admiral's on board ship, they're automatically kind of in command.
Yes, but not when she's bringing her own bloody ship along with her.
How many ships does she want?
Well, she's an admiral, doesn't she have a bunch of ships?
Yes, that's the thing when you say to an admiral, you and whose army, they can usually tell you.
Mine.
All of these.
Has it given you any different perspective on your adventures on Bacchus, or?
I was more just like, I know the Shackleton Expanse. I've been there.
It's that kind of. There was always that niggling of what else is there when these people came from such long distances to this one particular place. Something is afoot.
Who'd have thought it in an adventure path?
I know.
Yeah, excellent. Well, shall we pick up where we left off?
Let's get to the small moon.
The Admiral has just informed you. That's no moon. No, it is a moon. The Admiral has just informed you that she is taking command of the Atlantis.
I mean, you are more than welcome to, Admiral. Do you not wish to head there on your own ship?
We'll discuss it further momentarily.
Very good.
Commander, she hands you a pad. She says, here are the coordinates for the moon. Please set course immediately. Maximum warp.
I shall pop out and make sure that's done.
And that leaves just the two of you in the room. She fixes you with a look, Captain, and says, I imagine you have questions.
I imagine you're not going to give me answers, so we may be at an impasse.
She leans back in her seat, possibly more relaxed than you've seen her before. She said, I know this must be difficult for you, Captain. Needs must in the current circumstances.
Is that
I'm
something
sure I can tell you some information.
Excellent.
She takes a deep breath, sort of steeling herself, and explains to you that some time ago, her son, Averley, fell foul of an illness. She's hesitant to use the word, but can't think of another word. A kind of schizophrenic madness. He was examined by many doctors who could find nothing physically wrong with him. There was he had many brain scans, which showed absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. And he kept talking about prisons, about travelling dimensions, about ruling the universe, about caretakers and planet movers, about megaliths and quantum theories. And then she started hearing rumours of other people on disparate planets all throughout the Federation. Not many, just a handful of people, but enough to realise that this wasn't an isolated case. But seemingly with no connection. Starfleet doctors just put it down to some unknown disease. And because it was only a handful of people, they didn't progress any further. However, it has come to her attention that the Shackleton Expanse may contain the answer. That is why they are heading to this moon.
Admiral.
Captain.
This is a secure room. Nothing that will be said in here will go elsewhere. May I speak freely, and will you do the same?
Please, Captain, speak freely. If it isn't clear that I have already done so, please be assured I have.
Sorry, I meant no disrespect on that. Obviously, given what you have said, and given the entertainment that we've just been accosted with, the orders to travel to the Shackleton Expanse and see what we may find will be adhered to. What I would like to know is this orders from yourself, or is this orders from the Starfleet? Now, before you answer, I am happy if this is orders from yourself, that we can massage things through. I just want to know what support we are going to have. What I don't want is to go into this thinking that this is at the behest of any other higher-ups and find that it's not and get shafted. If this is just for you, fine, we will go into that, but I will be under no illusions as to if things start going horrendously wrong, my people will be coming out of it alive.
Captain, I would like you to give me a presence and command roll. I'm going to say difficulty 3.
Well, I'm definitely going to want some momentum.
You have a momentum. You're spending that?
Get it in there.
Can I use multiple momentum? I know we don't have it at the moment. And what could I use that on? Just to remind me.
Same sort of thing, Matt. It stacks. So 1 momentum buys you 1 dice. But if you buy another dice, it's now going to cost you 2 more momentum, and your third dice will cost you 3. So basically, you could burn 6 momentum to gain 3 extra dice, but you'd stack up to maximum because you can never roll more than 5.
Actually, that's fine. I'm going to use 1 momentum to roll an additional dice. I also have I have focuses in diplomacy, composure, and persuasion. If any of those would help.
I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to tell you which one.
Fine.
For reasons.
Yeah, sure. I have 1 success, and that's a 9, which is below the 7 for presence command. Oh, and it's not below 7 and 5. So below 7 and 5. So I have 1 success. That's 2 successes. And for a focus to work, it needs to be below the command line, doesn't it?
That's right. Yeah,
It
equal
does.
to or less than. So
Which
that's fine.
it's equal to a 5.
Oh, that's 3.
That's your 3 successes.
Mm-hmm. Roll the other one.
Just looks very, very thoughtful. And leans forward. And says, in many ways, Captain, as an admiral, I am Starfleet. However, I have found that of recent times, I am less and less able to rely on my colleagues. She leans really close to you and almost in a whisper, she says, trust no one.
Very good. And I hope you won't take my comments to heart, but I think they sit quite well with your final comment. Would you like some dinner?
Thank you, she says. If you don't mind, I will make use of the ready room and prepare for our arrival.
Very good. I'll see myself out. Onto the bridge.
Okay.
Knowing look at Kiwi.
Just tail in response.
So, you are a good couple of hours away. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to follow the Admiral's orders and carefully go through the ship's computer, removing all logs and any information pertinent to anything that we did in the Bacchus system. However, with the nod from the captain, I've also done something else.
Okay. Interesting. And have you given the order for people to be beamed to the Astrad?
I've with captain. It was ordered to me. I mean, I can't unless the captain basically tells me not to. But it's going to be pretty obvious to the admiral that they haven't. It hasn't happened if it doesn't. So I think as she did so, I sort of came out and tell the Jaunty to rustle up the usual suspects and pack them off with packed lunches over to the admiral's ship, never to be seen again.
So is that the lieutenant and the senator?
The other two survivors of Bacchus, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And yes, they are beamed aboard, and okay, and you're setting course. Obviously,
Yeah.
Helen, you've come out with your coordinates.
Yeah, I've dialed those in. Told them max warp. Keeping an eye on the stars flying by.
I'm going to look up any non-secure information that I have access to that isn't going to flag up any. Basically, a simple background check on the admiral. That sort of stuff, and anything that's not going to start raising a, the sort of thing that if you suddenly had an admiral ask you to come and meet with them, you would give them a, quick once over.
Well, her service record would be...
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Kind of a distinguished career. Seems to have come up through mostly administrative ranks, but not without field experience. She never captained vessel. However, she did make it to lieutenant commander on a vessel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The rest of her career has been spent on star bases. And she was an administrator for a colony for a while.
Okay. Is there
but all very
anything?
distinguished. She's been commended several times for
What, like cloud
nothing
charts and
dramatic.
things?
You do love a good pie chart.
Yeah, I mean, you're an admin person.
Anything easily accessible about her son?
So on the surface of it, yet he's being held is perhaps the wrong word. He is being treated at a Starbase 12.
Okay.
For an unknown form of schizophrenia.
Okay. So everything kind of cursory checks out.
Nothing.
Cool.
There's no red flags.
Okay. Great.
Right. Anything else you'd like to do before?
Let's get to
Okay.
this moon.
Right, and indeed, after a short while, the Admiral comes and stands on the bridge. I don't know if, Captain, if you're on the bridge, if you're in the chair, or the Commander is.
I'm in the chair. Admiral, would you like my seat?
Thank you, but no, I prefer to stand. You remain
Very good.
in the Captain's chair. Thank you. She asks for an update on arrival. You're probably about 15 minutes away.
Okay, I'll perform standard arrival sensor sweeps.
Okay, well, you can certainly do that on arrival. Everyone give me an insight and science roll. Difficulty 3.
There's maybe it is worth. I'm going to say there is no point because
I'm
fine.
going to. I don't remember what the thing is I have. I think it's advisor or spirit of discovery. I can't actually remember. I know one of the things that I have means that I can burn my point of determination and give us 3 momentum.
Okay.
So if you would like a momentum each to roll an additional dice to try and get you.
Will someone off? I've got a Starfleet.
Okay. That's one for Amy.
Yeah, 3 total.
Okay.
What are we doing? Sorry.
Insight and
This
science.
is insight and science. Difficulty 3.
Yeah.
Who else is burning a momentum? Are you all burning a momentum?
Well, I scored a 3 and a 7, and my science is 5. So if I have an applicable focus, that could be 3 successes.
Tell me what your focuses are.
I have astrophysics, ship sensor arrays, and geology would be 3 person.
None
more
of which
person.
apply.
I have Starfleet protocol.
Would not apply.
Shipboard tactical systems.
Nope.
Inspiration, composure, persuasion, diplomacy.
Weapons engineering.
Diplomacy, I would say, I'm going to allow.
Okay,
well,
then I have 1 success so far.
Right.
I don't know. Basically, to roll another dice, my science is so low, I would need to score a critical to get below it.
Yeah.
So is it worth rolling another dice, or do I just fail it as a 1 and keep us a momentum?
Momentum.
Yeah, keep the momentum. What I'm going to do, if I may, is to actually give Stu 1 threat to gain myself a bold science re-rollable D20 to add in to get the 3rd success.
I did take a momentum.
And I score a 5, so I have 3 successes.
Nice.
Right. So, Kiwi and Helen, you notice that the closer you're getting to this planet, the more agitated and, dare I say, eager the Admiral appears to be. Captain, you don't notice this.
No, I'm looking at the back of her head. That's why.
Yeah. But she is, getting more and more agitated.
I'm going to be keeping my eye on her.
Okay. And you drop out of warp in orbit around the moon of the second planet of this particular system. And the Admiral calls for scans.
Oh, that's me. Scanning.
That would be you.
Scanning now.
So,
standard
this
approach
is,
scans, Captain?
that was a question for you, Captain.
I mean, if that's what the Admiral has ordered, yes. Go right ahead.
Standard approach.
Okay, so scans. Reason and science, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. Difficulty.
Sensors. Fantastic. So sensors and science for the ship is a very tasty 13.
Oh no!
Dice going everywhere. Found it. Got here. So we have one success, and I rolled a 2. I do have a focus in ship sensor arrays.
You only gain the one momentum anyway, don't you? Regardless of how many successes above, I believe.
Oh no, just
It's
the additional
no, it stacks
one.
up. So if you needed 1 and you went 2 over, you get 2 momentum.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. How many did you get then?
So 3 in total.
Okay, you get 2 more momentum, so you're up to 4.
But you have that additional momentum that you can spend to ask a question.
I do. Well, so we'll find out what those scans tell us, and then I can get basically get a free extra info spend back.
Okay, so there is plenty of technology on this planet. However, this is really quite interesting. There is no sign of life whatsoever on the moon, not even microbial life, which is very unusual. I mean, if there's technology, it means that at least people have been there at some point. But there appears to be absolutely nothing whatsoever. The technology does appear to be non-functioning. And your additional bit of information: the atmosphere is poisonous to most humans. Within 2 minutes, it's chlorine-based atmosphere. So you reckon most humans and Katians will probably be dead within 2 minutes unless they use an EV suit.
Recommend beaming down in a suit is possible, but it's a bit risky. I mean, you want to make sure that the suit beams down a fraction of a second before you beam into it. So possibly recommend shuttle and EV suits if we're going down to this one, Captain.
Do you not do it at the same time, or is that like some scientifical mumbo jumbo which won't work?
No, you just sort of beam the whole thing. But I imagine, you just have to make sure that you arrived inside your suit, pressurized, ready to go.
Really
you can beam in an EV suit. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's fine to beam in an EV suit.
You won't get like melded to it and turn into some mecha human.
No.
Like a Tuvix.
Don't give the games master any wild ideas.
I would love to see how it would be how you would play a a Helen Kveen hybrid.
I'll have to do a tutorial on the whiskers.
Kebab. So, would I be right in thinking that you are saying all this out loud, that you have shared this information?
Oh, yes, yeah. There's a standard report to the report to the chair.
Okay. As you say about like there's no life whatsoever, not even microbiotic life. The Admiral sneers at this and mutters, "Well, that's wrong."
Oh.
But she's muttering it to herself. Anyway, suddenly on your systems, Kaveen, in fact, everybody will be aware that the red alert klaxon goes off and starts flashing away as there is some kind of coronal ejection from the nearby star. And the systems on board the Atlantis start shutting down.
Not again.
Can we get chilled up?
What did we do last time?
Give it a snack.
Oh dear.
Turn ahead into the wave. Turn ahead into the wave.
Everybody give me a reason and science difficulty 1.
Oh,
I
one.
got this.
I got.
2 successes.
And if I get a
Okay.
bonus focus because I've got some composure.
It's not what about
I got.
Oh,
I'm so composed right now, Stu.
I'm gonna say no on this occasion. It's an interesting thought.
I got
Well, if the ship shakes, I don't know.
18 and a 6. So the 6 passes.
So you get a success. So all 3 of you then, as soon as this starts happening, the Admiral is muttering under her breath quite a few different phrases. You hear her saying, and she's repeating them over and over again in a variety, but along the lines of saying that this isn't right, that it's too early. At one point, you're sure you hear her say, "I can hear you. Yes, I'm coming." She says, "Purge the lightning. Purge, 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 purge. And take them as you have me. All are well, will be well, have been well."
I'm gonna
She's just
get the
saying
captain's
these things
attention here.
under her breath over and over again.
Security to the bridge.
Yes.
I'll just get some subtle security outside the bridge, ready to come in.
There's some sort of button under the
you-
desk.
Do that on the console.
And Juanti in.
And just before you hit the send button for that message, your console shuts down.
Ugh.
Alex! God damn it! I'll send a pigeon.
And more systems are shutting down.
Got a stick. You just thump on the deck.
Can we
Can we go backwards at least?
Yeah.
Is this because we're in proximity? Do we have engines?
No, not anymore.
Okay, well we're
No control over the ship.
well done.
How did we get around this last time?
We didn't.
This sounds suspiciously like the same builders who build the monolith have done something in this system.
Yeah, hopefully they don't choose us.
Well, who else would they choose?
The Admiral suddenly exclaims, They've taken my mind for the last time. Our answers are on the surface. Please, I have to get down to the surface. It calls me. Only there can we begin the purge of this technology and bring peace back to our lives.
Aren't we pretty peaceful?
I mean, Admiral, the last time this happened, it beamed us down. We weren't able to. Are any of the communications working?
Communications are down.
What do we have currently?
Very little. It needs repair. This is a little bit different from Bacchus in that there is no beam that hit the ship. This was a kind of like a solar flare type thing that's hit the ship, but it was unexpected and kind of defies physics a little bit. You should have seen a massive solar flare like that come in, but you didn't.
Yeah. Can you explain that, Kareem?
I imagine my panel is probably shutting down. Is there anything I can see from this that indicates that the system has been fiddled with?
Is it affecting tripod?
Captain, the Admiral comes up to you and says, Starfleet is compromised. The answer to how is on the moon's surface.
Okay, well, let's head to the transporters and see whether we can get down there. Colonel, you have the bridge. Commander, Lieutenant, you're with me. EV suits on. We're going for a little jaunt. No, not jaunty, not you. You're staying here.
The transporters are down.
Okay.
I think we need to get control back of the ship here.
Yeah, I think that.
Where's the engineer?
The shuttle bay is non-functional.
He's on a very important mission.
Why is the engineer not here? This is why everything is breaking.
Okay. Whatever engineering crews we have, try and get control of engines first. Or if life support is failed, obviously that first. But someone get me some maneuverability. God damn it.
Captain, I suggest we get manoeuvring thrusters at least back so we can get into a stable orbit. Then we can start looking at beaming down, if that's what you want.
That was a very long sentence for get me out of here now.
So, to get systems back up and working requires an extended task. You do have your deputy engineer, Abina Doulas, you can use for this. So the first thing we need to get power back online is an insight and engineering task, difficulty 1. Now, are you using Abina or is... Because Kaveen, you're quite the engineer, aren't you?
That'll be insight and engineering will be a target 14 role for me. So I'm happy to have a go at that myself.
If you're leading the engineering team, give me an insight and engineering difficulty 1.
Okay, is that anything to do with computers? I do have a talent that gives me an additional dice if I'm studying or programming a computer.
I'm afraid not. No.
No problem. Right, engineering. Okay, there we go. And we've got a 114, and a 19, so 1 success.
1 success, and so close. So close.
Just tickling the dragon's tail there.
Okay. The next thing that needs to be done is the crew need to be calmed. Now, this is going to be a control and security role.
Oh, I can do that. Let me beat them
Commander,
into
that
quietness.
sounds like your
Yeah,
control and security difficulty 1.
that's fine. I will composure work here as a focus.
Yes, it really would. Very much. So.
And then I have 2 successes as a score of 5, and my security's 5.
Excellent. So you are now at maximum momentum.
Way.
Good.
The next thing, to stabilize the ship in orbit, is a presence and con roll. Captain, I think you're the man for this job, aren't you?
Possibly. I was much better at the last thing.
Are we?
I have a control of 12 and a security of 4, whereas I have a presence of 7 and a con of 3.
Yeah, that would have been better than me.
Right. Well, would you like someone else to do the presence and con?
Yes.
I've got presence of 10, con of 1.
That's slightly
I'd
better.
be presence 9, con of 2.
Okay. So,
Oh,
who do
Commander,
you want
take
to
the
do it
helm.
then? 10, 11, or 11?
Okay. Yeah. Turn it up to 11.
I guess if it's only 1 in it, I will take this.
Yeah.
Although, have you got any focuses that might?
What's this?
This is to stabilize the ship in orbit.
If it's got anything to do with weapons, deflector shields, force fields, security systems, or tactical systems, I'm your lady. Otherwise, no.
Starfleet protocol maybe is my only.
No, that's more
Or
like
my
procedures
composure.
No. However, I do think a bit much of my abilities, so maybe this is something that I feel like I could do.
No, I will do this myself.
No, I will take the role.
I've done it.
Captain's rolled.
So while they're arguing over and punching each other over the
I hope
conversation.
you rolled well.
What did I need? Was it a 2?
1.
Then I passed. I have a 3 and a 5.
Excellent.
Masterful conning, Captain, as ever.
So that's
I roll
2
my
successes. And lastly, to deal with injured crew when the power was lost. Presence and medicine, difficulty 1.
I got 10.
8.
11.
Let's get our medical officer.
This is more to get them to the medical officer.
Oh, okay. Well, can I use my fitness of 10 to 7 to drag people to the medical bay?
No, it's more about issuing instructions and what have you.
Yeah.
So I think Kaveen,
got
you've got
10.
the highest
Yeah,
with
Kaveen,
11,
you're
haven't
high.
you?
Yeah, go on. I'll have a go for that one.
So again, it's difficulty 1. You do have your maximum momentum at the moment as well.
Let's I'll spend 1. Let's try and make the last bit count. And we got 1 success.
Nice.
No complications.
1 success, and indeed, things start to normalise on board the ship.
Injured crew to sick bay. Come on, pick yourselves up.
Excellent, well done, everyone. Yeah, the ship is more stabilised. So, Kaveen, after you've got the medical personnel to the right places and the right people, your console flashes up. There's a power surge that's been detected on the surface, and it looks like a kind of transporter beam. as the Admiral shimmers and fades and disappears.
It's a trap.
Sounds like we've been Bacchused again, doesn't it?
I think we need to go and investigate. Get the shuttle working.
Yes.
I don't know at all, though.
I mean, the ship systems are back up and online. It was
Excellent.
power loss that was causing the problem.
Right. in
Can
which
we
case-
find where the Admiral is on the planet?
Yeah, shall I
Ramming speed.
scan the planet and see if I can pick up the Admiral's, maybe if she's still got a communicator with her or any sort of... if there's no other life forms, she should be the only thing down there.
Indeed.
Worried
Give
if we
me
were to, like-
a reason and your choice of engineering or science.
Ooh, let's go
Difficulty
reasons.
one.
Mhm.
Assisted by the ship with sensors and engineering.
Excellent. Atlantis is sensors and engineering. Sensors and engineering is 11.
Drawers.
And my reason and science would be a 14. Ship doesn't help. And I get 1 success and an 18 on the other dice. So 1 success only.
Okay, yeah, the ship, I mean, it's power still coming online, capacitors are building. Sensors perhaps aren't quite as functional as you would have hoped. And as a result of that, you're struggling to pinpoint the exact location of the Admiral, but you've narrowed it down to 5 probable locations.
How far are they between each other?
And do they make a symbol?
No, they don't, and they're not walking distance.
Ah, of course.
Are they ship-wide?
With my success as a science task, can I gain an additional momentum to gain some more info? Is any more info to be gleaned from that?
Yes, you've determined that the point of origin is deep within the moon, and in fact, where the technology was non-functional before on the moon, now appears to be functional.
Oh, someone switched it on.
Is there a pile of electronics where the Admiral once stood?
No.
Oh.
Hasn't been swapped.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I'm just going to do a very quick, very, very quick word from our sponsors. We will be right back in a moment or two. Bear with us. Here we go.
Hailing frequencies
So-
are open.
what I'm thinking is we beam down with full kit. We then send someone in a shuttle to be in a mid to low level orbit,
Mm-hmm.
and we push the ship out of harm's way a bit further.
Yeah.
That way, if anything goes wrong, either the shuttle can come down to get us, or
The
ship, can beam us out and pick the shuttle back up, type thing.
Or if necessary, the shuttle can act as like a relay point for communications, transporter beams, whatever.
Exactly, and we provisions and other bits and pieces within the shuttle, emergency. Maybe even put one of the nursing staff in there, so we have a quick stabilization route, just to sort ourselves out.
Extra tricorders.
Medi-evac shuttle. I like
yes. Right. So, Lieutenant Quinn, you can pilot the shuttle, take it down into a low-level orbit, take one of the medical staff with you, and fill as many provisions and other medical-type tricorders. Anything that could or will likely happen to us, I want you to be prepared for. And if you ask me what to be prepared for, you are clearly not the right man for the job. I want you to be prepared for everything. Okay, off you go. Good. Now
I'm going to remind you of a mechanic within the game. So
didn't I send him off onto a special mission somewhere?
Well, each of you has a uniform, a communicator, and a tricorder, and a phaser. Any additional equipment needs to be bought with momentum.
But we're not taking it. Or do you count the shuttle as an item?
The shuttle itself is not an item. However, putting things in the shuttle is.
Doesn't the shuttle have stuff like that anyway? Being a shuttle.
No. I think you'd have to specifically get its like disaster relief pods. Loaded in. They're probably in there somewhere, but you'd need to load them in.
Okay, right. So we've got how many momentum? 3, is it?
6.
You've got 6 momentum.
6. So I'll spend a momentum on medical supplies in the shuttle.
You get a medical kit.
Anybody else want to put anything in or take anything with us?
Is there in the Star Trek universe some sort of shotgun-like phaser, so I can have like 2 on my back?
Well, now she could upgrade to a phaser rifle to go down.
You could. Type 3 phaser, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, I can just check the stats on that, because there is a set cost. In fact, here it is.
Oh yeah, it was that weird looking. It was a weird looking thing, wasn't it?
Phaser rifle is opportunity 1, escalation 2. So I believe that costs 1 momentum, but gives you 2 threat to take it.
And how many numbers does it give me?
That gives you 4 on top. Well, basically, if you hit, you get 4 effect dice plus your security rating.
And then on my sheet, is that in total? Has it already been added up?
No, that should be either a phaser type 1 or type 2 should already be in there.
Okay, my type 2 is an 8. So is that including my security score?
No, for shooting a phaser rifle, you'll be rolling 9 damage dice when you hit.
Okay.
And you get the charge ability, which obviously gives you like stun. I don't know, so it gives you like the penetrating hit or the other options. Can't remember off the top of my head. But it also gives you accurate, which means that you can re-roll to hit.
Oh, I mean, unless we want to use supplies for more things. Like, because do we need to spend them on the EV suits?
If you want to go, I would recommend having an EV suit if you plan to go on the planet.
So that's 3 EV suits. So that's 3 momentum plus medical supplies. That's 4.
You can have a phaser rifle.
That's a medical kit.
Yeah, like that's only 1. Do we want more?
I think
I'm happy without. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, but it doesn't really matter. I would rather
Amy,
die.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say 3. I was like Amy suits. No,
EV suits.
EV suits. 3 EV suits. 2 medical kits in the shuttle.
Okay.
And Amy can have an usher.
Yeah.
Two rifles.
She's got her own phaser rifle called Usher.
Usher, yeah.
So is that
That
type
is-
3? And it's 9. And it's
That
charged.
is all 6
and-
of your momentum.
It is.
Charge and accurate. Yeah.
Okay, so with all this gear loaded up and you've popped yourselves into your EV suits.
Yeah. While this was, I can't remember. Can I record a quick log onto? Is there a handheld, like, I don't know? Is there a original series dictaphone?
You just get a pad
You've
from
got the
a
pad.
yeoman.
Yeah.
Or you can operate it on a wall panel.
I will make a very quick log, just detailing what the admiral's done and where we're up to. Heavy duty command control, like lock this thing down, and then send a quick note to it's Lieutenant Commander Kerno, isn't it, who's got control of the ship while we're gone. Should the Admiral come back first, send them whatever the log name to Starfleet Security or somebody. Just send it to somebody. If the Admiral comes back first, that is the first thing you do before any orders are given. Do you understand? Put yes in the chat if you understand.
I'm sure that, I mean, that's pretty clear. Yes. If the Admiral comes back before you do, send the log to Starfleet Security.
Yeah.
If I'm actually at this point as well, noticing that the Admiral's gone, Kaveen, with his tail, removes the data disk which he's been secreting and passes it to the captain just over the rail.
Okay. And yeah, when go and put the EV suits on, that'll go underneath a bottle of green in my cabin. And again, the message to Kerno is, send the log if the Admiral gets back before I do, and make sure the disc under the green goes with it. Okay?
Okay. That's pretty clear. I'll affirm.
Lieutenant Quinn, try not to scratch the paint while we're gone. Right, gentlemen, ladies, shall we?
So you're heading to the transporter room, is that correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still think we should take a shuttle down. I'm just saying.
Is that your tactical assessment, Commander?
Yes, well, I'm just saying, so if anything does happen, I can just say I told you so. If it doesn't happen, then it's fine.
How forceful are you being about this, Commander?
Reasonably.
Reasonably. Fine, okay. Might be a little waste of a time, but I take my senior officer's opinion seriously. So, okay, Quinn, drop us on the planet, if you please.
Shuttlecraft Gertrude, sir.
Yes, send Gertie out.
Okay. And yes, you board the shuttle Gertrude. Which number is Gertrude?
Oh, hang on. Oh, I think she's number one of the
Of
shuttle.
course she is.
So NCC 28011.
Flash one. Actually, yes, that is there, but you can't see it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Gertie, takes off, heads out through the shuttle bay, and heads towards the planet. There's no need for rolls on this. It's a fairly easy thing to do. No, do you know what? No, because you're out of momentum, and I'm really kind like that.
Oh, Stu.
Let me call up.
Ooh, but
No, this is a
potentials
way
for
of
momentum.
giving you momentum because it's a difficulty 0 task. So in our private Discord where we create characters, this is going to be. Oh, come on. Nope, it's not working. Okay, not to worry. So, piloting this shuttle. I don't know why my messages in Discord aren't showing.
Yeah, Discord's down.
That would be
Yeah,
it.
same on my end.
So, first of all, it is going to be a... No, let's just go for a reason and con roll difficulty 0. And
Reason and con.
use Bina. So, reason and con. Unless one of you wishes to take the con.
I got 2.
Oh, yes,
Right.
I'm a con of 1, not good at steering.
Can I use whatever, but also I have advisor or supervisor. And didn't we say that gives my con score over or something?
Yes, that sounds right.
I can't remember, and I can never find. I made one sheet where I listed everything out with what it did, and I can't for the life of me find where I put that.
Well, Quinn's reason and con score totals 9, but it is difficulty 0. So
I have a con of 3, so I'll lean over his shoulder and press some additional buttons. Oh, I hate that. I had a boss that used to do that. That used to like come over and sort of shove you out the way and take the mouse and do stuff. And you're like, really? Like, just yeah. Anyway.
Oh, I'm like that person. Oh, dear.
okay,
Let me show you. No, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's easier.
that brings it up to an 11. So who's
Which
going
is-
to make the roll?
I just made the roll
Okay.
and I did it poorly. I got a 15 and an 11, which is lucky.
Oh, you got one success, so you get a momentum. You get a momentum. That was worthwhile. As indeed, Quinn pilots the shuttle down to the moon's surface. As it breaks the cover of cloud, you get to see this moon for the first time. Overwhelmingly, it strikes you as very, very grey, but lots of different shades of grey. Not like that. Not sexy time. And as the shuttle skims over the surface and gets lower and lower, you realise that where you're thinking you're seeing hills or mountains, or it's all structures all across the entire surface of this thing, but they are ruined structures. They are ancient structures, and they are covering the entirety of the surface. But where walls and what were once buildings of some description, I mean, they're completely alien in design. They're so ancient, they've almost morphed into being hills and mountains, as they are littered all across the surface. And indeed, as the shuttle lowers closer and closer to the ground, you see buildings passing by where walls have crumbled and what appears to be circuitry running through the, also destroyed along with the wall, but you can see this circuitry ran through the walls of pretty much looks like all these buildings. as the shuttle gets closer and closer to the surface, I'm going to spend some threat as Quinn clips one of the buildings, ripping off one of the nacelles, and the shuttle suddenly skids down onto the ground. Skids to a halt. You are all uninjured, fortunately. It's been a very rough landing. You're not sure you can make it back up. And I'm going to spend some further threat because Quinn has been knocked unconscious in the process.
That's not
And
fair.
that's where we end for this evening.
Oh, perfect.
You bastard.
Knocking out Quinn is fine, but I dare you, you hurt Gertie.
You shouldn't have said don't scratch the paintwork. You just told you what
In
to
another
do.
time and place, she'll be an antique.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a chance to get your hands on her ample nacelles, if you excuse the engineering parlance. Yeah, no, she's got one. She's got one off. Lost a
Lucky
nacelle.
Gertie.
Yeah. But I did say it's shades of grey.
We did
all.
just take a nosedive.
How do we feel?
Not great.
I don't feel two nacelles.
Why do we keep landing on random moon planets with technology?
I don't know. If we'd beamed down, maybe this wouldn't have happened.
Oh.
If we beamed down and came down without any of our stuff, then that's gonna happen because that happened last time.
Webb is going to be dining out on the he was right about beaming down on this for months.
But you're never gonna know that I was right.
Oh no! Of
because we
course I
didn't do
know
it.
that I was right. What are you talking about?
That's a good point. Does your model have detachable nacelles?
Well, no, but as it was just a cardcraft model anyway, I can always build one that has. I can build a battle damaged Gertie.
You could just take a lighter to it.
Well, we managed. I managed a mirror universe heavily scarred Livingstone, so we can probably have a badly landed Gertie. But any landing you walk away from is a good one. If you can reuse the shuttle afterwards, that is even better.
Yes.
I actually, in another game, I haven't played in a while, but we had a Fate Core, and it's a weird system, heavily dependent on kind of weird things. And I had a PTSD fighter pilot who can't land because he keeps crashing, and he will dock with systems, but one of his feats within Fate Core is any landing you walk away from.
Is a good one.
It's a nice one. It's a weird thing where it cuts scene where he will crash, and then he will appear in a scene later on, absolutely fine. And anybody else he's with will survive this landing. The ship can be total, but he will walk away from it and just appear in the next scene. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Definitely an interesting system, that old Fate.
Yeah.
Jaunty is educating on it, and it's really, really a lot of fun. Of fun.
My character's one part darling, one part flash heart.
Woof. Right. On that bombshell. So thank you all for joining us. Now, normally we'd be transmitting again over our hailing frequencies in a fortnight's time on the 13th. However, I'm buggering off to America, so it ain't going to happen. So we will be back on the 27th, or at least that is the plan. Maybe subject to change depending on people's work, as always. But our plan is back on the 27th, so in 4 weeks' time rather than 2. I hope you can all cope without us for that.
You're having a
amount of
long
time.
sleep when.
Yeah.
There we go.
Someone's birthday on Sunday.
Ooh. Whose birthday is it on Sunday?
On Sunday.
I don't know.
Jinx.
It's not mine.
Is it your birthday?
It's not my birthday on Sunday, no.
Is it Quinn's birthday?
It might be Quinn's birthday.
I suspect it's Quinn's birthday.
Gotcha.
So happy birthday for Sunday.
Happy
happy
birthday! I hope you have a good day.
Or happy birthday to
We
whoever
can't
birthday.
sing you happy birthday because it won't come across very well on.
Ordered to consume cake.
We'll do it telepathically. There you go.
And eat the cake.
Cake.
Like the Telosians. So we need just pulsating heads. Fantastic. Well, we hope you have a lovely, lovely 4 weeks. We look forward to seeing you when we're back to see if this crew can survive this planet.
It's a good question.
It's a very good question.
I've still got plenty of threat left to throw at you. Just
Doesn't that go away?
No.
No.
That just accumulates, so it doesn't
Just
reset
stacks
at
up
the end
again.
of the scene or something. Oh, that's
Yep. Yep, that's it. So, yeah.
unfair.
Thank you all very much. So, peace and long life. And live long and prosper. Bye, everyone. Bye.